What's happening? Donald Trump is coming for Americans' guns. We knew this was going to happen. This is what authoritarian dictators do. They disarm their populations. They cannot allow the people they seek to control to be armed. Because as long as they are a threat to the dictator. And he has begun his process of disarming the American people. It is being reported that the Department of Justice is figuring out ways to prohibit transgender people from possessing firearms. This is where it begins. This is how dictators start. They don't start by disarming everybody all at once. They don't start by taking away everyone's rights all at once. They start with marginalized communities, especially those communities that the dictator's supporters hate. And that's exactly what he's doing here. Now, these MAGAs are too stupid to realize what's going on here. They will cheer this. You know they will. Now, this is happening. Trump saw his opportunity. They saw their opportunity after that school shooting in Minnesota, where the shooter was a transgender person. And they said, this is our opening. We can use this event to strip transgender people of their right to keep and bear arms. And the cult will go along with it because they hate transgender people, right? This is how it begins. But they're not going to stop with transgender people. And by the way, how they're planning to do it is they're thinking that maybe Donald Trump will issue an executive order. This is one of the things under consideration. Issuing an executive order or some sort of regulation that would declare transgender people to be mentally ill and therefore disqualified from owning firearms. That's how it starts. And if he is allowed to get away with this, he will move on to the next group and the next group and the next group in his quest to disarm the entire population. The last people he will disarm will be his hardcore supporters, but he's going to disarm them too. And let me tell you, he's going to have to. These MAGAs don't realize it, but he's coming for them too. And as I say, he's going to have to, because some of them are already beginning to wake up to the tyranny that is happening in this country. I was listening to the Bulwark podcast a little while ago, and it was Tim Miller was talking with Stuart Stevens, and they played a clip of some right-wing friggin' MAGA podcast bro. At least he used to be MAGA. I'm not sure if he's still MAGA, and I don't even remember his name. But he was big into Alex Jones and everything, as this guy made clear in the clip. But he's waking up. He said, take a look at what's going on. We have military on the streets. We have masked federal agents arresting people in parks. He said, I like Alex Jones. I've listened to Alex Jones for a long time. This is exactly the kind of thing that Alex Jones was warning that Democrats were going to do. And here it's happening now with Donald Trump as president. And if that doesn't scare the shit out of you, there's something wrong with you. You should be scared. That's what this friggin' MAGA podcaster was saying. They're beginning, at least some of them, are beginning to wake up. And a dictator can't afford for even his supporters to be armed, because what if they wake up? And what if they suddenly realize that we are being oppressed as well? Our rights are being taken from us. He can't afford to have anyone armed in this country. So this is how it begins. First they came for the transgender people, right? Which group will be next? And if all it takes, if this is in fact what they do, if this is the route they go to try to disarm transgender Americans, if all he has to do is issue a decree saying this group is mentally ill and therefore disqualified from owning firearms, then he can do it to any group. He can just do it to Democrats. He calls Democrats mentally ill all the time anyway. They're crazy. You know all the things he says about them. He could just say. Every registered Democrat in this country is mentally ill, or they are an enemy of the state. He could do that. Hey, they're enemies of the state. And we are going to go through the voting records of every community in this country, and every registered Democrat will be stripped of their right to keep and bear arms. Who knows? Who knows how they'll go about this? But this is where it begins, and it's beginning. And of course, MAGA, too stupid to realize it. But we've been warning them. They are going to have their rights stripped of them, just as the rest of us are. Anyway, thanks for watching.